You're at home in lockdown, but you're still gonna get infected by Facebook. If you have a Facebook account and an account on Instagram and WhatsApp, and are thinking about internet social distancing, it won't work. You need to understand the true risk of this platform, and it is very bad. Very bad. And I bring it up this time because the virus lockdown is forcing many places like churches and even my own city government to use Facebook even more for live streaming and passing announcements. Such a bad idea. Coming up next. I'm going to talk about some of the more obvious dangers of Facebook, but I won't have time to tell you all of it. So I will cherry pick some risks so you can have a general understanding. We're going to start by going to the past. I'm going to walk you through a young person named Catherine Fox signing up on Facebook sometime in the past. First thing that Catherine Fox does is to upload a profile photo. Now, being from a selfie generation, Catherine's first photo will be the best she can find. Now, Catherine Fox is also quite active on Twitter and very big on bashing it out daily on politics, even leaving nasty comments on Donald Trump's Twitter account. But Catherine is not afraid of that because she calls herself Foxy Lady on Twitter, though she uses the same photo. Okay, let's pause here. What happened to that photo? First, because it's a Facebook profile photo, there are no permissions on that photo. Facebook considers that public. So that photo is now searchable on Google image search or other sites like Social Catfish. By the way, if some random stalker takes a photo of you on the street, that person can search for you on Google image search, and it should lead to your Facebook account where it tells the stalker your real name. This is the beginning of the never-ending rabbit hole. That photo then gets matched to your real name social media records on various identity aggregation websites like Axiom, Spokeo, Intellius, Social Catfish, People Finders, and so on. You and your family members are shown on public records and are also joined by other internet data such as credit reports and are now matched with your faces. Now at this point, it should be clear that Foxy Lady on Twitter is now matched to Catherine Fox because the photos have been matched. So the aggregator sites can now figure out all the other social media accounts that are related. Catherine belatedly realizes this, by the way, and says she'll create a new identity on Facebook called Catherine Wolf. So she uploads a new pic she finds on the internet, not her, and then changes her name on Facebook to Catherine Wolf. She then ensures that her name on Instagram is also Catherine Wolf. But Facebook knows this move and will then link the two names, Catherine Fox and Catherine Wolf. So now if Catherine Wolf shows up on some other social media, the connection is recorded on Facebook and again open to the world because profiles on Facebook have no permissions. Every time you change your profile name or pic, all that is publicly seen and all the aggregators know it. There is no escape here. Again, you are infected by Facebook. Facebook tracks devices with a device fingerprint. And each time you log into Instagram and to Facebook, it can immediately detect that Catherine Wolf is Catherine Fox just from the device location, IP address, and device fingerprint. And so the accounts are joined and matched. Same with WhatsApp. So any interactions on these accounts are all considered as one, including contact lists. So you can see we're only at the beginning and you cannot undo your identity record. You basically put yourself in a searchable facial recognition database and you have been chipped by the Facebook app. And that personal data has spread all over the internet to third parties who can now cross-reference all this forever and at a faster pace than COVID-19. And unfortunately, this infection has no cure. Oh, Since Catherine is a church-going person, during this period of a virus lockdown, she watches church services on Facebook Live. Facebook now has her profiled by religious choices. Presumably, her political comments are not just on Twitter, but are consistent on her Facebook timeline, so that is also part of the profile. Facebook already infected the whole church since it knows every church member just by who watches the Facebook live stream. Just like any normal user does, she uploads tons of pictures on Facebook with locations and device fingerprints. And Facebook dutifully does facial recognition on everyone on her photos, including those people who choose to be private but are now tagged on Facebook. Whatever location she has is now applied to the locations of every person in a group photo or in the background. Now she's in a lockdown at home with family, her parents, and siblings. But not to worry, she's running the Facebook app, so that will now begin to track the serial numbers of each of her family's devices. These are called MAC addresses, so they are all recognized as related devices. There's a lot more tracking that's done on these, but I'll skip it for now. Catherine is still oblivious to the dangers and doesn't understand this new technology called a browser fingerprint. So, since she has nothing to do at home, she starts surfing the interwebs and goes to political websites, shopping sites, maybe on occasion even hitting some extremist type of website that she may not necessarily believe in. But any site with a Facebook like button, which is most websites, is actually an embedded Facebook.com site. And it's actually recording a fingerprint of her visit to that website. Very simple to do for Facebook. Since they can find a unique browser fingerprint, they just have to match that to the fingerprint when last logged into Facebook or their next login to Facebook. So now Facebook has a record of all her activity on the internet, including potentially classifying the extremist site as part of her belief system. Again, all tied to a real name. Now, like most people, Catherine has no clue that everything done on Facebook is permanent. So she says something offensive on Facebook, offensive to many. She gets pushback from friends about the offensive comment. She thinks about it and then decides, that comment may be misunderstood in future, so she decides to delete the comment. Oops! If I search for that comment on Facebook, it still shows up on the records of the people who gave her the pushback. Can't delete it. Zuck! Catherine now belatedly realizes that not only is this public, but it's zucking permanent. Okay, time for some backtracking. She goes to her privacy settings and sets everything to friends only. But it doesn't matter because her high school classmate, Janice, who responded to her comment and gave her a pushback, has a public setting. And there are always people like her among your friends with a public setting. That offensive comment still shows up on Janice's activity. Zuck! Now Janice is such a big fan of Facebook and games and plays with Candy Crush and other apps. Little does she know that these apps are reading her comments and her friends' data, and especially those who didn't lock down the data seen by apps. These apps make money by selling the social media records to the aggregator companies I mentioned earlier. Spokeo, Intellius, Axiom, Social Catfish, and so on. And Catherine Fox's comments will be included there as part of this data. Now, at some point in the future, Catherine will be seeking new employment. And like many people, she's oblivious to what actually happens. Employers now pull up a social media history on each of their potential hires. So Catherine Fox is positively identified by the employer, and then the social media record shows many of the posts from Facebook, including the offensive comment made. This is now unretractable and permanent. It's basically an uncurable virus. People who want to dox Catherine on Twitter, by the way, have an easy time. Those offended by her political comments just go on Facebook. They've already found her real name because of the photo matching. then searches for activities from her friends and sees these offensive comments that has stayed on Janice's account, even though Catherine deleted it on hers. Someone could call her out on Twitter and give out her name and address, especially those who dislike her. Now, of course, there's a lot more. Facebook has a permanent record of every location you've ever been to. Facebook has a relationship map based on contact lists you've uploaded. Facebook knows where you spend your holidays because it has done facial recognition on everyone in your photos. Even if you live like an angel, you can hurt others who are trying to protect themselves from doctors and stalkers. So you go into Rob Braxman's house to visit since you're related. So I'm related to Catherine Fox. And then you take pictures of everyone in the house and you've just connected yourself to the privacy guy, Rob Braxman, by revealing his exact location through your location settings, and your photo has just gone through facial recognition. Basically, Catherine Fox is tainted with the virus, the Facebook virus. Everywhere Catherine Fox moves on the internet, she taints the privacy of those around her. And of course, she already uploaded a contact list in the past, so phone numbers, email addresses, and even possibly home addresses have been passed on to Zuckbook, and relationship mapping has been done. Let's not forget that Catherine posted nasty comments on Twitter to Donald Trump's account, so let's assume that the Secret Service has her marked in a database of suspects if anything ever happens to Trump. And all that includes all the people in her circle, including those in her contact list. Don't forget that since Facebook knows all your locations, it also knows when you did not practice social distancing or even if you attended any kind of protest in the past. And not to worry, that's pretty permanent. Now let's go fast forward to the future. 20 years later, Catherine has kids and her ideas changed from when she was younger. But whatever she did on the internet is still there. Your kid's classmates can go on the internet and find out that the kid's mom said this 20 years ago. Ha ha ha! Everyone you know will now not let it go. It will be posted in the new social media and the shaming will begin again. I know that even after listening to this story, many of you still will not get it. Facebook is a unique animal because it is a real name site. It has, by its nature, connected real people you're related to with relationships, classmates, and family. So even if you fake your name, it would be pretty simple to figure out who you are based on who you hang around with. Facebook has a policy of keeping data permanently. This is clearly stated in their EULA. Again, to repeat, real name, real connections, permanent data. Facebook attempts to track everything that you do and in fact has added new things over the years like browser fingerprinting, device fingerprinting, and spying on your local area network with MAC addresses. Facebook has the most accurate facial recognition system in the world. It can easily track activities of people who are not even on Facebook just by their presence on photos of other people on Facebook, even if you're just in the background. Facebook has no real privacy settings. Since information about you can be derived from your friends, your own personal privacy settings don't matter. And friends can post things about you without your permission. Once you're in the Facebook web, you will get infected. The only prophylaxis is to delete your account. Facebook still has you, but at least it's kept from leaking out. People, you have to understand how the internet works. There is no way to correct things on the internet that has already happened, especially if it can be tied to your real name. Unlike credit reports that can be hidden by law after 3 to 10 years, there is no law that can stop your data from being shown. Your data will get infected. So you have to not get infected in the first place. The first source of infection is Facebook. Social distance yourself from Facebook. I'm in Los Angeles, by the way, and I get these emergency alerts on my phone. And I was shocked to see official announcements being sent to me from the mayor that forced me to go to Facebook. I get invitations from my church to watch church services live on Facebook. This is just zucking crazy. I don't care what the official announcement is. I don't care what the church services are. Why not make a zucking website instead of forcing me to go to Facebook? Won't happen. You won't find me there. I have no zucking Facebook account. I am safe from an internet infection. Don't get infected by Facebook. If you like this video, it would be great if you subscribe to this channel and smash that notification bell. Thank you for watching.